Yes, good morning. So this time I'm going to talk about a specialized topic on yoga and depression. Um, it's become an epidemic. Depression becomes an epidemic. What that means? That means it's a lot of people are depressed, and yoga can help. When I say yoga, is a yoga life. So how yoga can help with depression and what is depression? Okay, that's the topic today. So you just need to know that depression is um, is rampant these days in all countries, all age groups, rich or poor, educated and uneducated. Okay, so here the statistics a little bit. The likelihood that a person will suffer from depression symptoms in life is 25%. So 25% people will suffer from depression. The likelihood of major depression, and later we will talk about the difference between major depression and depression, is 6%. The average onset of depression is about 25, 29, of course, onset. Average duration is 20 weeks. Recovery within 1 year is 74%. And second major episode likelihood is 80%. So if you have a major depression, then 80% of the time you might, suffer again from depression. And if you have a minor depression, then the percentage is 100% that you will suffer from minor depression again. It's quite amazing, the statistics. So right now, the current treatments of depression is antidepressant drugs. And if it doesn't cure you, or doesn't stop the phenomena of depression, then you go to doctor again, then they increase the amount. And also there is different kind of pharmaceutical drugs that are being introduced on the market, new drugs, to help with depression. People resort sometimes to drugs like marijuana and things to calm down their depression, but it aggravates the problem and it doesn't really help. Um, but yoga and Ayurveda, which is the holistic approach to yoga and health, help you to go to the root cause of the depression. Okay, so what are the causes of depression? So according to Dr. David Frawley, who is a Vedic teacher, an Ayurvedic teacher, and yogic teacher, he said it comes from stimulation. So the more we depend on external stimulation, and you need to understand what means stimulation. Yeah? It's a stimulation of the senses, a life that is depending on external factor. Okay? So the more we depend on this external stimulation, the more depressed we're likely to become over time. So if you help people to lead an internal life, be more in touch with themselves, which is a yoga and Ayurveda kind of life, then they can prevent depression. Yeah? If stimulation is reduced, let's say whatever that you hang your life upon, that is external factor, and let's say that this source of stimulation changes, or reduce, then we suffer from withdrawal. Okay, withdrawal syndrome, as our nervous system has become dependent on the stimulation. Okay, stimulation always causes a certain degree of addiction. Okay, so when your sense of high, your sense of happiness or well-being is depend on something external, and it's constantly repeated, then it becomes addiction. So everyone has a tendency towards addiction already. I mean, our mind has the quality of addiction. I mean, what it likes and it stick to it. What it likes, it stick to it. What it thinks, it keep repeating the same thing. So you need to understand this to prevent the addictive mind, and knows that from addiction will come depression. Over time, if we keep addicted to something, then we are likely to become bored. Okay, if you keep addicting to something, you also become bored and depressed with any type of stimulation. At that time, the stimulation would not work, as repetition would cause it to lose its novelty. Okay, so you might be addicted and you repeat it, and it works for some time to keep you somehow, but then eventually, it doesn't work anymore. So then you need new forms of stimulation. So you change the problem of addiction. So now depression is rooted in lifestyle. Okay, so it's your lifestyle that you need to regulate. Okay, and yoga offer you the solution, because yoga is not just exercise, it's yoga lifestyle. Okay, so depression is rooted in your lifestyle of excessive activity, called rajasic, excessive activity, overstimulation, and dissociation from nature. Okay, so that which calm you down and that which regulate your emotions is nature, tuning into nature. But if you depend on things external, because nature has a capacity to reflect your soul, reflect yourself. So you connect to nature and you calm down. But anything that keeps you stimulated, then eventually the result will be bouts of depression. So nowadays, in the high-tech world, we are subject to more entertainment. Okay, we are wired, is it not? We are wired with music, with video, with social media, with internet, all the time. So we also take recreational and medicinal drugs, pain relief, substance addiction of all kinds. So we shut ourselves off from the rest of life and from other people. So you entertain yourself alone with your gadget, and then you are not having the genuine communication with others, which help you as well to maintain certain balance. We do not know how to be alone, to be silent, to be in nature. So we lose that connection to nature, or even have a direct relationship with anyone. So we're not having a deep relationship. So we live with alone. People are very much alone, even though they are constantly communicating on the internet, but they are very alone. So our lifestyle promise happiness by looking out in the world of the senses, and the senses promise us happiness. Okay, and also we look for recognition because we are so lonely. Yeah, so then we feel cut off from other people, so then we want some recognition. You can see the weakness there. We might feel also when we look out and we look at the news and look at people around and everything what is going on, because so much news, everything comes to us very fast, then we become depressed, the situation of the world, and unhappy with an unhappy state of the world, because the world is unhappy. You can see Yeah, if people have negative emotions and they are unhappy, and we also might feel depressed, out of restriction, imposed externally, like people are in COVID lockdown. When people are in COVID lockdown for short period or long period, yeah, there is a lot of depression going on after they are cut from going out, cut from their going to entertain themselves, to visit friends. Okay, and sometimes the COVID crisis make people lose their dear one, their friends, and sometimes they have to adapt to changes that they are not ready to adapt to. Let's say they close their business and then they lost their job, and they have to deal with their health. So then a lot of things that make them feel more depressed. But now you need to understand that depression is due to attachment. Attachment, that means you want something, yeah, you hang on to something, you identify with something external to yourself. Attachment will bring fear and angers due to expectation unfulfilled. Okay, you attach to something, therefore when your attachment is not fulfilled, you might become afraid and you might become depressed. So attachment brings about fear, worry, neediness, a feeling all the time of needing something. I'm insufficient. My life is, not worth it. Emotional dependency, okay, and despair due to loss. So it keeps us in a depleted mental and nervous state. So if you are all the time either overstimulated, oversensitive, or nervous, or worry, then your nervous system is depleting itself slowly. Okay. So attachment makes that you live in the past. It brings a revival of unpleasant memories and traumatic experience. So everyone has trauma, yeah, small or big. When you're young or when you're older, you have unpleasant memories. Yeah, but when you fall into this problem of not being actualizing yourself, then you be detached, uh, um, and you be attached, and then you remember your your past, and you remember your trauma. So then it's blocking the flow of energy, and this is also another reason why you can become depressed. So you need to solve that problem of this traumatic memory, either the yogic way by being very present and then really pumping yourself with a lot of positive energy, positive reinforcement, or you can resolve the past by talking it out, gaining more also awareness. You need to be aware that you are traumatized, you have negative impression in your mind some way, to calm the nervous system. So if you are able to do that, then eventually you become calm. Okay. um, so not ordinary, then the neurons of the brain have an ability to change and to adapt. So our system is like this. We call neuroplasticity. That means our brain is able to adapt. Yeah? But in depression, what happened is scientifically is in depression we lost that adaptability. Okay, so there's an inability of the person to see out of their situation, their rut. Okay, so they are stuck. Basically, they are stuck, and they cannot imagine even alternative ways of being and doing. Okay, so their mind or their brain is incapable to be what we call creative or to be resourceful. And then depression brings a lot of other kind of disease, like heart disease. It starts with depression, and bring about weakness like osteoporosis, in people. Depression, you need to remember, is a disorder. Okay, depression is a mental disorder. Depression also is considered to be a disorder of the whole person. If you understand this, then you need to understand how yoga life, the whole life, can be helpful. Existential and social distress. Okay, so if you, like I said, if you look out and you have social distress, if you look in, then you have existential depression. Existential depression means you ask yourself the question, why I'm alive? Life is not happy, why I'm living this life? You are suicidal, you think of taking your life. So, and you are hopeless, and you are unhappy and hopeless. Okay, so, but the very important thing to understand, is depression is subjective. Okay, subjective means it's you that see it that way. It's not the world is, your projection is, your family is, your society is, your community is. It's not of this. Yeah, it's subjective. It's the way how you deal with things. Okay. So, and very important is the way how you talk about it, how you see and you interpret, okay, your life. It is not objective. The same thing might happen to somebody else, but they will receive differently. Okay, so you that is why the person needs to emotionally and spiritually grow themselves to be more resilient. Okay, so the response to stress, or the response to negativity or to pressure, is to be more resilient. Yeah, oftentimes we collapse and we become negative and we blame. Yeah, but the idea is whatever happened is you have to see is your interpretation about things, and the second you have to see that you have the capacity to be strong, to deal with things. Okay, so you need to be more resilient and to be more creative. Okay. You cannot really truly be helped by others, even though if you are living in a family of a group or community of friends, that people that are near you that are very understanding and helpful, they can give you the support. Yeah, so it's better that you're not alone and you feel that somebody care about you. So that is very important. But you are the one that can help yourself. Finally, bottom line, because it's subjective problem, you are the one that can help yourself. And yoga put the whole responsibility on you. Yoga life put the responsibility on you. Okay, yoga doesn't promise you things, except if you practice, then you change your outlook. Okay. Um, so, conventional therapy, we talked already, sometimes it works, but it takes a long process of psychotherapy to be talking with somebody all the time, and pharmacotherapy. And some people are not following. Yeah. When they feel not well, they follow a little bit, they go to doctors or the therapist, and then they don't follow. Yeah, and there is some kind of stigma, to the idea that I'm not well, and then I have to go to the mental, the psychiatrist, and things like that. So then they don't follow through. Yeah, but yoga is becoming more and more popular, and people are welcoming the idea to go to yoga classes, to go to yoga retreats, to go to uh, you know, yoga satsang and things like that. So then it's highly acceptable, yeah, and also more accessible. I mean, it's not so much costly. When you go to doctor, it's always very costly. But when you go to a yoga group, it's you know, usually it's not so costly. And you know, even if you are not going to immerse yourself in a yoga retreat or yoga ashram or yoga community, then you practice regularly hatha yoga, yeah, properly, with the breathing, with the relaxation and turning inward and the movement. Then it gave a result. Okay, so statistically, it gave result. Clinically, it gave a reduction of the depression severity. So it has been proven that it helped the problem of depression. The integrated practice, this is what we recommend, integrated practice of different yoga modalities. That means not just only asanas alone, but breathing, relaxation, mantra repetition, meditation, positive thinking, you know, writing diary, talk to somebody. Very important pranayama, very important pranayama. Yeah, help to reduce the the depression. So now one thing that is being given is the Ayurveda approach to depression. Okay, so you have to see your constitutional type. Your constitutional type also bring about your psychological type. Okay, so we call the Vata type, the air constitution. Then the depression come from the nervous depletion or nervous exhaustion. Okay, because they think all the time, and some they have a lot of up and down. So like manic depressive, okay, very high and very low, up and down. So if you feel the mood up and down, it's your vata derangement there, yeah, and your nervous system is they have difficulty to take this. So you need good nutrition, you need relaxation, you need oil massage, you need tonic herbs, nervines. You need some specific Ayurvedic, you know, things, herbs, which I will not say because I'm not sure it's available around in Vietnam, for example. Anyway, you can find equivalent, but you need tonic herbs, and you need human company. Okay, if you suffer from this vata, then you should not be alone. You should be with people. Okay, if you have these kapha uh, types of depression, okay, kapha is a water and earth constitution. Then the depression comes as a chronic heavy depression from lack of movement. At that time, you become lazy, you don't want to do anything, you don't want to walk, you become lethargic and overweight. Okay, so this type of person need to be moved mentally, okay, and physically. So when you do asanas, it's good to do sun salutations a lot of movement, quick. Okay, um, need stronger kind of exercise. Need pranayama, steam therapy, spicy herbs, ginger, cardamom, tulsi, cinnamon to promote digestion and circulation. Okay, and there is a pitta type, that means a fiery type um, of constitution. Then when they are depressed because they fail to achieve personal goal. Okay, so pitta people have personal goal all the time. They have a plan. But if they fail to achieve that for whatever reason, when their efforts are blocked, okay, then at that time they become depressed. Okay, is not necessarily that they have to achieve or do all these things that they wanted. They need to somehow calm down as well, but that's the reason. Okay, so depression with them will come with anger. Depression and anger come together. So they need to cool off and calm down. Okay, they need to cultivate forgiveness, compassion, take cooling herbs. Okay, so you can see different types. So you have to know more or less who you are. Okay, but I give you now the symptoms of the called major depression. Okay, so you remember there's major depression and minor depression. Major depression is a mental health disorder. Okay, so they are when I give you now, there's 5 of the following symptoms that persist more than 2 weeks straight and are not due to medication or other medical condition. That left untreated, an episode of major depression can last about 6 to 12 months and can go on for 6 months to 1 year, or it can last for 2 years or longer. Okay, so these are, so please note, sleep disturbed, lack of sleep, insomnia. So these are the symptoms. And if you look around, you see a lot of people have problem of sleep. The number 2 is a lack of interest. That means things you are interested before, all of a sudden you are not interested anymore. Yeah, you're not even interested to take bath, interested to dress up yourself and your appearance. You're not interested. You're not interested to listen to music before you like it. Now you don't like it. You're not interested in anything. Yeah, so that is a sign, a symptom. And number 3 is guilt. You feel guilt for whatever reason. You feel that you're not enough. You feel guilt. Like guilt of this, guilt of that. You find all kinds of excuse for the guilt to appear, and then you feel loss of energy, and you are lethargic. You don't have enough energy. Okay, so you're tired all the time. Before you do any task, you're tired. You don't want anything because you say you are tired. Yeah, you ask for excuse to go to work because you are tired. Okay, and then after your loss of concentration and you are not able to accomplish anything or work on anything, so you have problem at work because you cannot have concentration. Okay, so it comes together, and then your appetite change. Yeah, either increase appetite, weight gain, or loss of appetite. Yeah, lose weight. Okay, so you have restlessness. Yeah, next is a psychomotor retardation. I mean, you have some kind of problem. Fidgeting, restlessness. That you never can stay still. You cannot do anything. You go here, you go there constantly. Yeah, and you have thoughts of suicide. So these are the symptoms. If 5 of these go together for non-stop for a long period of time, so like they say at least 2 weeks, yeah, you are into a major depression. Okay, so you need to wake up and do something about it, yeah, before it become major. Yeah, and so the way how they say it's serious or not serious depends on the level that you are impaired. Your functioning is impaired. That means you are not able to go to work, or you're not able to work. You're not able to provide. Then at that time it's called um, um, you decide if it's a mild, medium, or major. Okay, major depression, you cannot even move. People, I've seen people very, very serious. Yeah. So major depression, remember, is different than depressive symptoms. Okay, everyone has depressive symptoms, low mood, and some people have low mood. I mean, they persistent mild depression all the time. They never have joy in their life. Persistent mild depression they have all the time. Mood disorder, yeah, that goes this high and low, bipolar, premenstrual mood, before you have your menstruation. Some people have depression, and also before or after giving birth, a woman can have depression. um, you have some kind of disease, and then you have to stay in bed, cannot do your normal work, then at that time you also can have depression. Okay, but it's not the same, like I said, major depression. So now you know that depression come from this tamas rajas. Okay, so that's a yogic language. Tamas is when everything is pulling down, darkness. Yeah, rajas is a excitement, like I said before. There's a stimulation. So stimulation and then lack of stimulation, tamas, rajas, tamas. So it goes the depression. Okay, tamas is the energy of pulling down, dullness, darkness, depression. Victimization is depression. That means that you always blame something. You never take responsibility of your life. Yeah, and you blame somebody. And the moment you blame somebody, or you put the responsibility of your happiness on somebody, at that time, it's hopeless, because the somebody or something is not going to satisfy you, because that's how life goes. Yeah. And then if if you are tamasic, something come to you that is good, you fail to see, you fail to recognize. Yeah, you are in the denial state. Yeah, nobody care about me, you know, and things like that. So you keep going down with the tamas. And then the laziness, yeah, the lack of activity, yeah, lack of creativity, and the problem of ignorance, not knowing your true nature, where the happiness lies. So this would cause the depression. The rajas will cause the depression. Rajas is the excessive activity that we talk about, because um, it lead to burnout. Okay, excessive activity leads to burnout. Remember that. Burnout means you have no more prana. Okay, it leads to excessive passionate activity. You cannot control your desire. You cannot control your movement. You project your happiness outwards. That's called rajas. The sensorial search for stimulations, use excessive coffee, excessive drugs, excessive sex. All these are rajasic. Okay, search for external achievement, individual achievement. Okay, so then at that time you work harder, because you want people to recognize you. You are much more competitive, because you want to to show that you are good, or something like that. You are restless, you are stressed, you're competitive. Yeah, but remember, rajas and tamas work together. You see, that's the thing. Excessive rajas will lead to tamas. Tamas, emptiness and loneliness, will need stimulation of rajas. Okay, you feel empty, yeah, because of you feel tamasic and empty. So then at that time you excite yourself more, to balance out, kind of like this. But then you excite yourself, and again you feel empty. Yeah, so that is the roller coaster right there. Okay, so what you need is a sattva. Yeah, so you need to understand that there is another way of being. It's called sattva. Yeah? And yoga life, the 5 points of yoga, give you the sattva, the proper asanas, the pranayama, the relaxation, the proper diet, uh, the, the positive thinking, meditation, give you the sattva. So it balances you out. So it gives you the quality of purity, be able to see through, connection, harmony, stability, silence, fulfillment, inner joy, satisfaction, non-competitiveness. Okay? The self-acceptance, the acceptance of others, the capacity of adaptability, harmony means to be able to live with others. Yeah, you'll be able to accept others, adapt to others, instead of wanting things to accept, to adapt to yourself. Okay, so living in harmony, yeah, is very important. The quality of sattva that will help the depression. Not isolation, not loneliness. Okay, need to avoid dependence when you are in connection with people. Don't think that somebody would be your savior. Okay, but promote respect and interdependence between people and community members. Okay. So unfortunately, our society is becoming more and more individualistic and selfish. That is the danger. Okay, when people resort to individuality, they think that they achieve something and they gain something, but then they lose themselves. Yeah, and to the Tamas and the Rajas. Yeah, so they don't have time. Nobody has time for each other. Nobody has time to spend quality time with each other. So that is the problem. Yeah. So to prevent loneliness and to prevent depression, you need to have a quality of life, a community quality of life. Okay. So the other thing is important is you need to understand is why being in nature and connecting to nature, yeah, would help to prevent the problem of depression is because the prana aspect. So yogis and yoga teachers and yoga practitioners know how important prana is. Okay, so that's the first thing you need to really watch is your prana. Okay, because lack of prana causes depression. Okay, prana, in fact, is everywhere. It's supplied in nature, and yet we cut ourselves out of the sources of prana due to our lifestyle. Okay, so prana is in nature through the 5 elements, as you know. Okay, prana is in earth, yeah, and walk on earth, live on earth, earthly building material, look at mountains, trees, gardening, eat products from earth, smell aroma from earth, avoid artificial living, yeah, disconnection from earth, or too much eating. Okay, so earth is your savior. Okay, so go to earth. Okay, and the other thing is prana is supplied through water. Water. Drink pure water. Yeah, stop drinking coffee. Stop drinking soda. Stop drinking stimulant. Okay, swim in the ocean. Some people that live near the ocean. Um, you look at the ocean, it gives you the prana. The same like you look at earth, it gives you the prana. The mountain. Why you look at the mountain and you feel so good? Because of prana. You look at the ocean and you feel prana. Rivers, look at the river. Rainwater also give you prana. Okay, so by water, avoid all the wrong kind of drink, yeah, stimulating drink. Okay, so avoid. Yeah, maybe you drink alcohol. Maybe it wouldn't do anything to you now. Maybe you're not drunk or something. You say, oh, it's okay. No, eventually it's not okay. Yeah, because it's again it's stimulating, and then again it is tamasic. Again, it is some dependency on something external. So if you care about yourself, then you avoid, yeah, doing it, and then you pay attention to the excuse of the mind, and you want to also supply your prana through fire, yeah? Sunshine, be in the sunshine every day a little bit. Open the window so you have light in the house. Okay, look at flowers, colors, wear colorful color. Okay, so don't wear depressive color like dark, black, dark. You feel you can wear light color. You see, you feel different. Wear the yellow color, then you feel different. Okay. Um, Also, the vegetable fruits that you eat that has received exact the sunshine, and you eat them, it gives you more prana. Then the food that is many times cooked or the dead meat and so you eat, it doesn't give you prana. Okay, live outdoor and try to stay away from artificial light. Okay, fire give you prana, but stay away from the artificial prana that comes from the blue light from the TV, the cell phone, the computer. Okay, um, so that is the something that you can choose. Okay, you can use your computer, cell phone, pay attention, in a moderate manner. Okay, prana is supplied through air. Yeah, we very much depends on air because we are an air animal. So breathing is very important for us. Live in a fresh air daily. Avoid the AC. If you need the AC, fine and good, but short period of time. Go on retreats out of the city. But if you live in city, do pranayama. Avoid too much traveling in airplane because there's not enough air and fresh air in airplane. Too much movement also is not good. Um, Prana is supplied through ether. Ether means the noise or the silence. Okay, so respect the silence. Try to be in silence, less noises, less gossips, less talking. Recharge yourself with silence, light music, kirtan, meditation. Kirtan is singing, but it gives you the prana because it's a different kind of sound. It's mantra. Like meditative music is okay, but that is meditation in silence. So if you study yoga, then you know the way how to connect to the source of prana and be aware of that because we might be aware, but we also forget. Okay, but also know that depression indication of a deeper problem. Okay, depression is an indication of deeper problem. So better not to suppress the symptoms. So depression is a symptom that's something deeper. So you need to take a look within and slow down. Asana helps you to slow down. Pranayama helps to regulate the breath and the prana and clear the blockages. Withdrawing of the senses, the technique in yoga also is helpful. Concentration, increased energy and strength is helpful. But the main thing is to slow down and do some introspection, you know, write down your thoughts, some wrong thought that you have in mind, that you carry for a long time can be a cause and the source of your depression. Okay, because a wrong thought that that you identify with, and you rehearse always. Yeah, so that thought become very deep and it block the energy, and you don't even know that it blocks the energy. So then you need to do some introspection. Okay, so do detoxification is a way, when you slow down, you go to retreat, you slow down, you eat simple food, you stay with yourself more, you have more time. And then those who are, super hyper active people, they have difficulty to slow down and to be with themselves, and because they have to keep themselves busy all the time. They feel depressed if they don't be active. But then at that time, if you allow this to happen, then eventually it calm down, and eventually something which is your the energy of your soul, yeah, can come out, and then can fill up the emptiness, and you start to feel better. Okay, so try to be all the time creative, yeah, something to give a break to your active mind. Okay, poor nutrition to the mind. Yeah, that means that you can be depressed because you don't also do mental exercise, and if you do mental exercise, then negative mental exercise. I mean, you ruminate and you think about things that is impossible. So this creating a problem to you eventually. So you need to do mental exercise, like for example, try to remember mantra. Yeah, this is the best mental exercise, because the mantra is pure energy, and you try to repeat and remember mantra. So these are the best exercise. And read scripture. Nutrition to the mind is read the scripture. Okay, and also try to think, because when depression comes from lack of proper thinking. Okay, lack of proper thinking, weak psychological and physical immunity. Yeah, psychological immunity is when you are, like I said earlier, resilient, when you are able to think through something and is resourceful. Okay, and physical immunity, we know, when you eat proper and you rest proper, then you have the immune system become strong. Okay, so lack of proper thinking, weak psychological and physical immunity is the cause of depression. Okay, so you need to be at that time do the proper mental exercise that is positive, nutrition to the mind, proper thinking, proper reading, exercise of your intelligence is important, because some people, they are so numb. They're so numb because of the lifestyle and the stress or whatever. They never think anymore. Think creatively. Yeah, not thinking because you're ruminating something or you live in the past. Yeah, but proper thinking. Okay, too much influence of media, you know, uh, it's a entertainment and some negative emotion in the media and violence. So this you need to wean yourself, because you're not strong to deal with this. Okay, um, uh, so you need to do more exercise of stress resilience, fortitude. Okay, you need to be conscious when you see your mind come up with something. Oh, I cannot do this. Yeah, then you need to be stronger, yeah, to deal with it. Yeah, then if you do exercise of your fortitude, yeah, your endurance, instead of be like a spoiled kid. Something you don't like, you drop and then you do a tantrum. Yeah, so be careful. You need to be more mature or stronger. Yeah. Know that stress is subjective. You need to be able to adapt, adjust. The more that you be able to, adapt, adjust. Sometimes it's like very tiring to adapt, adjust, because things are changing all the time. Yeah, but it's sometimes it's like this. Yeah, and you have to take it with a grain of salt. You need to be positive about it and just adapt, adjust, adapt, adjust. That's exercise. It's like when you do asanas. constantly. You have to be flexible. Okay, so you have to train yourself to do that in order for you to be stronger in endurance, because things might not be, yeah, adapted, just accommodate. Things might not be changing outside. Yeah, you expect things to change. You expect the COVID to go. Not necessarily. It can go, it can come back. It can go, it can come back. It's like the boss, it makes you strong. Yeah. And then this and that, and constantly, So then you cannot be depressed. You cannot allow yourself to be depressed. Yeah, because it takes away your life and it creates wrong impression in your mind. So you have to keep doing exercise so that you become stronger, and you have to understand, you have to have some philosophy. That's why philosophy is helpful, understanding impermanence. I mean, nothing is remaining the same. Relativity, that means, this is bad situation, but that situation is worse. Yeah, you have to have that capacity to think. The moment you complain, oh, the food is no good, you know, and nobody talked to me, then you need to think some other people, they are losing, people because they, situation of war that is going on right now. Okay, they don't have food, they don't have lodging, they don't have country, they don't have community, they lose their family. They're worse situation. So you have to understand called relativity. Everything is relative, so you don't get stuck. Okay, humility, very important, because the ego that is attached to things, attached to a certain way of seeing, a certain way of feeling, attached to your idea, your cherished idea that you might have since a very long time about who you are and what this life is about. Maybe once upon a time you have this thought, but then when you get attached to it, that thought just keep rehearsing in your mind, and you will not have an opportunity to change, yeah, to allow yourself to think differently about yourself. Okay, so humility is very important. Yeah, acceptance is very important, and what we call spiritual transcendence. I mean, you have a certain philosophy and way of life that you be able to see through this this Maya, or see through this relative world, or see through this imperfect world, yeah, and then you find sometimes the problem is rooted in childhood, yeah, since a very long time, and you don't even remember, you don't even know that it is your background. Yeah, your background might be that we call it that the chronic lack of joy, yeah, or that chronic depression, or that chronic feeling that you are not loved, or you are rejected. Okay, so it takes some time. Okay, but still the yoga life and the understanding of the prana, the understanding of the tamas, rajas, sattva can give you some solution. Okay, so the first treatment of depression is behavioral. Okay, the first thing that we need to change when you see that you are depressed or somebody around is depressed is behavioral. Behavioral means change your behavior. Okay, stop eating the artificial stuff, stop drinking the artificial stuff, the coffee, the drink, the alcohol. Stop these things. Stop taking the drugs. Stop taking the marijuana. Okay, the artificial thing. That's the first thing. Withdraw from external stimulation. Okay, withdraw from that. Develop internal creativity. Okay, try to motivate yourself. Okay? Develop self-discipline. If you know something is good for you, like meditation is good for you, then you need to stick to it. Asana is good for you, stick to it. Pranayama, stick to it. Okay, they're called self-discipline. So stick to it. Detach from whatever it is. Go to a new level of awareness. Okay, detach from your way of seeing, your way of thinking. Face your fear, because I said fear, attachment, depression are very close together. So you need to face your fear. Yeah, there's a deep fears that bring about the depression. That karmic responsibility of your life. Okay, that means you are born, so you must have a contract with your soul to be born. You are here for some reason. Okay, so you might not know the reason, and you might want to escape this world, but still, your soul put you here. God put you here. Yeah, and these circumstances is exactly what you need to experience. Okay, so take responsibility, cherish your life, cherish yourself. Yeah, cherish the opportunity to live your life. Okay, stop blaming. Okay, stop blaming outside, stop blaming others. Okay, stop blaming our parents. Okay, they also not perfect, so stop blaming them. Accept whatever that has happened in the past, and then now you correct it. Okay, stop blaming the society for who we are. Okay, acknowledge that a certain you're born in certain era, so you have that imprint in your mind. But now things change, yeah, and try to see through, try to think through. Stop blaming, okay? Stop blaming also yourself, live in guilt, yeah. Stop. Empower yourself, empower your inner being, yeah. Be in company with positive people, okay? So if you don't have a company with positive people around you, read positive books. Okay, there's plenty of positive books. Okay, understanding karma, understanding karma and the purpose of life. So basically, we are born because of karma, and our life has a purpose: is to experience the karma and then to think positively. So accept that. Because the moment that you are depressed, you lack connection with your purpose of life, you lack connection with your desire to grow, you lack connection with the desire to understand better yourself, and that's how you fall into depression. Okay, life is meant for you to learn, and life is meant for you to be better, and life is meant for you to be free. So remember that, and then take the opportunity to do so with courage. Yeah, just that you make that decision. It's okay. Life is tough. Yeah, life is you know, it's not as I expected, but I'm going to make it. Okay, so be strong. Learn to the attitude of karma yoga. Karma yoga means you uh, you need to change your attitude toward your action in your life, yeah, and try to stay away from the doership and the egoistic attitude about life. Try to stop that. Try to do the best your duty, and also try to um, uh, try to how to say, surrender or offer the result of your action. So it's called selfless service. Okay, this is very capital that you understand that. Okay, you do selfless service, you are not a slave. Yeah, you choose to do that, so you get out of your idea about yourself, and you can adapt, adjust with other people, and all this thing is good for you. Okay, service comes first. Yeah, so if you serve other people, yeah, most likely you have mental health. Okay, because you are not sitting there with your own mind. uh, and it helps you to, Gandhi ji say, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Okay, this is a healthy attitude. So question yourself, do spiritual diary, yeah, take time to think of yourself, and know that everything is a lesson. Okay, but this is the sentence that I like very much from Swami Sivananda: we are more than our experience. Okay, so when we experience life like this and say, oh, it's not nice, But we, the self, the soul, yourself, is more than your experience. Okay? It's so nice to understand that. Understand that this life is only a chapter of the book of your life. Yeah, there's much more for you to experience, much more for you to live. Okay? And then you have to go through some hard time, fine and good, but be strong, be resilient, and you'll be able to come through it, because everything passes. Yeah, nothing stay forever. Okay, and then help yourself. Other treatment, that you can use, for example, use essential oil, to help yourself. Okay, use a certain stimulating herbs, to clear the mind, like brahmi, tulsi, things like that. Drink herbal tea. Apply sandalwood oil to your head. Use nasya oil, clear the passage to the neti, so then it clear the brain, you like. Do pranayama to bring prana to both sides of the brain. Okay, so when the sinuses and the lungs are open, then it bring in the prana. Move your energy by asanas. Okay, sun salutations, move your energy. Chant mantra, repeat silently, or keep the energy moving. This is the best remedy. Keep chanting mantra in your head all the time. Okay, because mantra is energy. It's like package of energy. It's this medicine. Yeah, energy medicine. So you keep using it. So you keep moving the energy in your brain, in your mind. Okay, go out in nature, contemplate the sky, look at the sky, the waters, the earth, the stars, the sun, the moon, the creatures, the birds. Give the mind space. Okay, you give the mind space when you go out in nature. Be willing to experience the emptiness within, okay, which will eventually be filled with awareness. Okay, keep cleaning, keep cleaning. When you are depressed, start cleaning your room, cleaning your space, cleaning your workspace, cleaning around you, cleaning the house. Just volunteer to go clean, clean, clean. Okay, declutter, give away things. Don't keep things like filling up your house. Um, and try to do service for people that are more difficult and that have difficult situation than yourself. Know that sometimes the depression might come because of the transits of the planets, on your chart. Okay, so sometimes you go through this phase, like Sadesati, a long period when Saturn move on top of your moon, and then you need to be more introverted. There's a way how you can take it positively, and you become more introverted. You don't try to do plan outside, and you try to be more disciplined, detached, and go on retreats and follow and training. TTC is a very serious training, and Swami Shivananda gave you some additional um, some additional advice. I take 5 more minutes here. Swami Shivananda, in his text, he say, do self-analysis. Okay, write your spiritual diary. Okay, or consult somebody that you trust. Don't just keep yourself with the depression. Trust and faith that the divine within can dissolve your problem. Okay, so you need to pray, repeat the mantra, sing mantra, do self-affirmation, positive affirmation, do exercise and walk in nature. That's what Swami Shivananda say, but we talk about that already. Study of scripture, let go bad habits, do not run away from problems and difficulties, face them bravely. These two shall pass. This is Swami Shivananda. Be content in simple living and high thinking. Okay, reduce desires. And nil desperandum, he said, never despair, never despair. There's enormous power within you. Avoid negative media and news. Swami Shivananda said in his time, imagine in this time what he would say. Okay, so the goal is I repeat summary now, the end. The goal is to stimulate, because the depression makes that you are not acting, okay? To stimulate your sympathetic nervous system, to unlock and release energy through backward bend. So in general, when you do asana, sun salutation is good for depression. Movement, fast movement is good for depression. Backward bend is good for depression. Loosening exercise, is good for depression. Achieve deep awareness by relaxation is very important, and be balanced and try to connect with the self and with all around, and assert yourself. Okay, the last sentence here, that myself is complete, fulfilled, self-sufficient, and joyful. So keep asserting yourself. Remember your true self in all circumstances, and be free. So that's it. That's your satsanga about the yogic lifestyle and way how our mind can get stuck, and how we can get ourselves out. Okay? So good luck, everybody. And I see you next week. Okay? Oh.